This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Agun Erev Yom Tov, as we prepare for Shvi'i Shel Pesach, the Yom Tov that commemorates the great miracle of Kriyas Yam Suf. We know at the time of Kriyas Yam Suf, the Malachei HaSharis, the heavenly angels, were so moved by the miracle of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the revelation of Hashem's glory. Chazal tell us, Bikshu Malachei HaSharis loymar shira. The angels wanted to sing shira. They requested to sing shira. Amar lahem HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and Hashem responds to the heavenly angels, Ma'aseh tovim b'yam, my handiwork are drowning. V'yatim oimrim shira, and you're going to sing shira? Apparently, the Malachei HaSharis, in a moment of an expression of the glory and majesty of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, requested that they be able to sing shira to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and Hashem said, look, at the end of the day, even though the Egyptians deserved to be punished and needed to be punished, nevertheless, they are my handiwork, and at this moment, a certain degree of mercy, rachmanos, and empathy is required. It's not the appropriate time to sing shira, and therefore the Rebbe did not allow the Malachim to sing shira. And many Achronim ask, well, wait a second, the Bnei Yisrael sang shira, how were they allowed to sing shira? Why were the Malachei HaSharis forbidden to sing shira? And the Bnei Yisrael, they of course sang the song of all time, Az Yashir. Says Rabbi Weiss in his Haggadah on page Kuf Chav, a beautiful thought. When it came to the Bnei Yisrael, they were not Bikshu loymar shira. They didn't ask to sing shira. They just sang shira. It was a spontaneous eruption emanating from the depths of their heart to proclaim and sing out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu His glory and His majesty. They never made a request. They didn't ask. It was spontaneous. At a moment like this, the Egyptians were suffering. If it's a calculated shira, if it's a shira that you need to ask and make a request in a moment of serenity and tranquility, to make a calculated shira, that's not the right calculation. If it's calculative, then that's not the correct response. But sometimes something just is a spontaneous reaction, which is appropriate. If it's so genuine, if it's so deep, then even though the Mitzrim were tovim b'yam, it's still a correct reaction because it is such an eruption of dvarim hayotzim min halev. It's so spontaneous that would be a correct reaction. But if it's calculative, if you need to ask, then, says Rebbe Shalom, this is not the right calculative measure to take at this time. Similar to, on the flip side, when it comes to zealotry, when it comes to kanaos, if you see somebody doing something wrong, then if you're going to ask a question, should I react in a harsh, outspoken way? Well, if it's calculative, then perhaps it's not the proper response to act b'kanos. When it comes to haboyel aramis kanoim poigim boy, it's halach vein moyon kain. If somebody in the heat of the moment feels the cause of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and it's just an eruption of protecting the honor of Hashem, that may be the correct response. If you go and ask, and now you're making a thought-out decision, well, you've already calmed down. And in that moment, and under those circumstances, kanos is not the appropriate response. You could have two people, and for one of them, the appropriate response is one way, and for another, the appropriate response is another way. It depends where the response is coming from, how genuine it is, how deep-seated it is. Is it a natural, spontaneous response, or is it a calculative response? And one always needs to know and to be aware where the reaction is coming from and what the appropriate measure is at all times. I wish everyone a get Yom Tov and a Zisen Pesach.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.